Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox, in the studio. After Monday's marathon of 20 videos, there was phone calls, I did comments, I did WhatsApps, there was longs, shorts. It was just absolute hectic day. We got everything out and it was fantastic. And I want to thank everyone who watched, everyone who added to the subscribers as well. That was very, very good. Everyone who assisted and aided the channel, I am humbly grateful. Now, obviously, yesterday, I couldn't keep that pace up on Monday. So yesterday, I took a light day. Everything was done in shorts, including me. I was wearing shorts all day, sitting in the garden, in the sun. It hit 20-odd degrees. It was gorgeous. Not so much today, grey, overcast, and probably going to rain. Oh, well, into every life and all that, but we're back. And I'm back in studio today. We're doing normal presentations, so hope to get them all out. Now, I want to address something before we get into this video, and I think it's important. I want to thank David McMillan. Well done, sir. You win. There's no real prize except your kudos. Yesterday I did a video yesterday evening, and I wanted to see if people are paying attention to me or to my surroundings, and quite a few of you did pick up on a certain thing. And for all of you who did pick it up, well done. But David McMillan wins the prize because he actually recognised what it was. And I'm going to say now, it wasn't real. It was a film prop from a film I made about 6 years ago now. And it was a fake AR-15 with rocket grenade launcher. Wasn't real. But I just wanted to test. I deliberately put it in there to see if anyone did. And you did. But David McMillan, whilst others did recognise it for being what it was, you identified it down to the actual make, model and type. So you win today's Internet No Prize prize. Thank you very much. Now, we have a poll that's been released. There's been a couple of polls today. We'll have a look at the other one in a while. But we'll have a look at this first poll, which is saying that the majority of people in Scotland said that Humza Yousaf had to go. Excuse me. And that support for independence is waning. And I don't think that's a surprise. People are looking around at what the SNP have done for the last 17 years, seeing the absolute pig's ear that they've made of it, and are fed up. And so they're sort of saying, well, if this is what it's like with Westminster sort of standing below, ready to catch everything that goes wrong, how bad would it be if Westminster weren't there to step in and fix things? And, you know, more and more SNP supporters are seeing that it is not the rosy, idealised future and vision that the SNP would have you believe. Now, of course, you're still going to get the wide-eyed loons who go, carry on with it. But reality bites, and reality is biting hard for a lot of people. And so, not only is independence not achievable, I would say myself personally that independence is now even further from being achieved than it was 14 months ago. The one good thing I suppose you could say about Humza Yousaf is he's destroyed independence. Good job. We're going to quickly take a look at this. It's not a big piece, but I do want to go into it and have a look because it just goes to show exactly how people now are responding to everything that's happened over the past sort of 10 days, really, isn't it now? So let's take a look. So, hammer poll blow for SNP. As Scots say, Humza Yousaf had to go. And they start to cool on Skexit. And it's no real surprise when you get a man as toxic and alienating as Humza Yousaf. A man who quite clearly hates Scots. A man who hates 98% of Scots simply for their dint of being white. You don't expect much to change for the better. The latest YouGov poll shows the Nats are on course to lose 27 MPs at the general election, to finish well behind Labour, as a whopping majority say Humza Yousaf should be removed from office. Now, it would be good. He should be removed from office, and hopefully he will one day, but he's currently still the First Minister, and you know, is still garnering his huge salary. Needs it to cough up to pay all the debts that he's got, and is under no obligation to go. You know, even if the SNP put up another leader, and let's say Kate Forbes, for example, became leader, there'd be no obligation for Humza Yousaf to step down as First Minister. He could continue until the Holyrood elections. This is something that needs to be addressed, I think, in constitutional law, because there's no automatic right of the party in government to have their leader as First Minister. And until Humza Yousaf stands down, the only way of getting rid of him is to have a vote of confidence, and at that point, the SNP would have to vote against him. And that would look pretty bad when you have the party in power voting against a First Minister from their own party. It's a weird situation. Now, a major new opinion poll will make grim reading for whoever is the next leader of the SNP tonight. This was written yesterday evening. Although the results do at least confirm Humza Yousaf was right to resign. It's the only thing he's been right with. Although it would be nice to see him resign as First Minister, as I say. The polling by YouGov found that a majority of Scots wanted to see Mr Yousaf removed from office by an overwhelming margin of 55% to 24%. And even the 2019 SNP voters were split 41-40 on whether he should be kept or removed. So in other words, 40% say of SNP voters say he should stay, 41% of SNP voters say he should go. What are the 40% who think he should stay think he's doing? Do they think he's beneficial? It also found that Labour remains ahead of the Nats in voting intentions for the general election, although only by 1 point at 34 to 33%. The Tories are steady on 14%, with the Lib Dems on 8% and Reform 5%, and are still ahead of the Scottish Greens. Now, the interesting thing there is, if this was translated to a Holyrood election, it would mean Reform would have more list MP or MSPs than the Greens. All of a sudden, the Greens become, how can we put this, irrelevant? That would be cracking, wouldn't it? If these results are repeated on election night, Labour will finish up with 27 MPs, giving Sir Keir Starmer a major boost on the path to Downing Street, and with the SNP on 21 MPs. This would be a loss of 27 seats. Now, I can foresee them getting fewer than 20, and I think if the good people of Scotland are to use a little bit of their famous sense of intelligence and wisdom, they could do a little bit of tactical voting and get them down possibly to single figures. And at that point, of course, they would be absolutely destroyed. In a further blow for the Nats, the latest YouGov Scottish Independence Tracker put no at 54%, which is up 1 point. Yes at 46%, down 1 point. Once again, this suggests the public has barely shifted since 2014, despite years of taxpayer-funded propaganda from the Scottish Government. And it doesn't matter how many shiny, glossy brochures they produce at great expense to the public aren't stupid. They look around and say, yeah, no. The YouGov poll conducted on the 26th to 29th of April also suggested Scotland is on course for a hung parliament at the next Holyrood election, which is currently set for May 2026. And boy, will that one be an absolute barrel burner when it comes to it. They will be sitting there, the recriminations and fights that will come out after that one will be fantastic. I mean, that's going to be a joyous day for YouTubers, let me tell you. Anyway, the SNP would be 18 seats short of a majority and unable to form a government even with the Scottish Greens. Meanwhile, Labour would be 27 short of a majority, promising chaos unless a ruling pro-UK coalition could be formed with both the Tories and the Lib Dems. Well, I think, yes, that's what it's going to be. It will have to be a Labour con Lib Dem coalition. And that's fine. They'll each remove the extreme views from the other. There will be consensual ground in the middle. There'll be agreements. Okay, you can do that, but we'd like this, that sort of thing. That's how it goes. Nothing too out there, nothing too weird. And, working as, this is the thing, as a unionist coalition, working for the betterment of Scotland. Anyway, here's just the prediction, is that it would be... is this how it currently is? To 60? No. Oh, this would be after. This would be after it. So it would be saying that after the next Holyrood. This is. I was going to look at the numbers there, and I couldn't work out if that was Westminster or Holyrood, but then I realised it was MSPs. Learn to read. Yeah. So after the next Holyrood elections, based on these numbers, it would be SNP on 47, MSPs, Labour 39, Conservatives 24. So between the Tories and the Labour, you'd have more than enough. 60. No, you wouldn't. You'd have exactly 63. Yes, not enough. So you would need the Lib Dems as well. But that's fine. Bring them in. Bring those three in. Let's highlight them. Bring those three in. And you throw two, let's say 2 or 3 Tory ministers, throw the Lib Dems a bone, give them 1 or 2, and the rest all Labour. And you just smash the smithereens out of the 2 weird parties. And it'd be cracking. But there you go. Let's come up and finish that, and we'll move on because there's tons to do today. But it'd be nice to see the SNP giving their marching orders, both Westminster-wise and Holyrood-wise. Coming up. Every time a poll is released, you get all the backroom boffins of all the parties are sitting there scribbling on, and tacking spreadsheets and looking at numbers and trends. And for the Labour guys, they'll be doing that and they'll be smiling and going, woohoo, and isn't day getting better? Tories will be going, yeah, much the same, don't really care. The SNP guys will be sitting there crying, tears, going, I'll soon be out of a job. Because it's just heaping pressure on pressure and getting worse and worse. And every day you're getting closer to the general election, getting closer to the Holyrood elections. Less time for them to turn it around. And they're certainly not going to turn it around while they've still got Humza Yousaf as First Minister. And they're certainly not going to turn it around when they get the loser John Swinney to come in. Although it doesn't really matter who goes in. They're going to lose big time styly anyway. It'd just be fun to see who is going to lead them into the next election loss. Thank you very much for watching this video. Do please hit the subscribe button. It really massively helps the channel. Certainly hit the like button. That massively helps the video. Till next time, dear hearts, stay safe, stay well, and I will speak to you later. Bye.